On March 24, 2021, I penned an article titled, "Giving Up Being Yourself is the Supreme Path of Cultivation," clearly advising to give up being yourself. On November 13, 2023, I wrote another article titled, "Great Matters Decided by Heaven, Small Matters by Man," which emphatically states, just be yourself. So, what should one actually do? Should we be ourselves, or give up being ourselves? Which perspective is correct? First, let's examine if the viewpoint of being yourself is indeed correct. My logical reasoning is as follows: each species can only be itself, as transcending one's own kind is impossible. For instance, a crow wanting to be a parrot, a sheep wanting to be a wolf, or a fly wanting to be a bee, these are all unattainable desires. No matter how hard they try, changing into another species is not possible, thus, one can only be oneself. Even within the same species, like ants or bees, a worker ant or bee cannot become a queen, this status is predetermined. Similarly, among humans, some are born intelligent, others not, some have melodious voices, others do not, some are born into wealth, others lack even basic necessities from birth, some are naturally handsome, others less so. Everyone is unique, therefore, no matter how hard one tries to learn and imitate someone else, transforming into another person is not possible. Like in business, the same venture, in the same era, can bring profit to one and losses to another. Therefore, while learning and effort are crucial, one should never plagiarize or imitate others, one must be oneself. Is there anything wrong with this viewpoint? Now, let's consider if the viewpoint of giving up being yourself is erroneous. I will directly bring over the main content from Giving Up Being Yourself is the Supreme Path of Cultivation for contemplation. Jesus Christ taught us, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." Buddha Siddhartha Gautama instructed us, if a bodhisattva attains the realization of the doctrine of non-self, he is a true bodhisattva. The immortal sage Laozi taught us, the reason people have so much fear and anxiety is because they have a self. If one has no self, what fears could he have? Therefore, it is noble to dedicate oneself to the entire world, for the world can then be entrusted to one's governance. It is loving to offer oneself to the entire world, for the world can then be entrusted to one's care. Selflessness enables the realization of self, egolessness leads to achievement. Thus, one must give up being oneself and must not be yourself. How does that feel? The viewpoint of giving up being yourself isn't wrong, is it? Since both being yourself and giving up being yourself are correct, this complete contradiction leaves one perplexed. Hold on, let's understand it this way. Telling a 5-year-old child, "Go play," allowing a child to play freely is certainly correct, right? However, would it be appropriate to tell a 30-year-old adult or an 80-year-old elder, "Go play"? Obviously not. Similarly, telling an ordinary person, "Be yourself, don't fantasize about becoming someone else," is correct, right? But for a sage who understands life and aspires to reach heaven, telling them to give up being yourself, to completely follow the teachings of gods, Buddhas, immortals, and saints, to act according to heavenly standards without clinging to one's own views and perspectives, is also correct, right? Any qualified teacher, master, or mentor must tailor their teachings to the individual. Standards for beams should guide beams, standards for columns should guide columns, standards for rafters should guide rafters. One cannot apply the same standard to everyone. Thus, in guiding the general populace, we should tell them, "Be yourself." In guiding those with the potential of immortals and Buddhas, we must admonish them to give up being yourself. Date, November 15, 2023. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information.